Does he have it?
Medeiros is going to get it.
They're going to toss it. They haven't got it. He's on the outside line, though, going into the fastest corner on the circuit. Surely this can't work.
Dominic Ligner has got a sensational run outside line now, though, for the heavy braking zone. Around the outside goes the Audi R8.
Look how much Miller's caught back into play. Exactly. Miller's still start trouble. He's not on second and change. All of a sudden, Miller's back in play.
Can Barry do it? Big Barry's going to do it. Big Barry!
Good evening and welcome to the Light Speed Racing League Round 6, live from Fuji International in Japan. I'm James Parfitt and I'm joined in the booth by the one, the only, the Mr. Mighty Biggles this evening. And you can see here we're at the full international circuit, track length 4.48 kilometers, 2.835 miles. And this is the last of the 4 configurations that this circuit has had in use since 1965. That's when it opened. In 1965, that's about the year that Biggles was born, everybody. So big shout out to him for being born in 1965. Major events it's held is WEC, the GT World Challenge Age, the Super GT Super Formula, and the FRJC. So there we go. Sit back and enjoy the ride as it hosts the W12 live from the LSRL F1 League. Here we do have 14 cars on track this evening. We have lost a few people tonight due to obviously illness, and then we've had other issues all at the same time. So unfortunately we are down to 14 from our normal 20, but I'm sure we will put on an absolute amazing show for us here, and we will have a absolute great time as we always do. Last time out at Sebring in the sprint race, it was Matt Miller in first, Jay Smart in second, Elliot Borg in third. In the feature, it was Jay Smart, John Silver, and then Matt Miller in third place. Let's bring in, I think it's time we introduce the Australian to the party, don't you think, guys, as well? So let's bring in the one, the only, the Mr. Mighty Dean Biggles into the booth. Good evening, sir. How are you?
Good evening, James. I love the puns about the 1965, of course, because that means you're telling me that I was around the days when the legendary F1 driver Jim Clark was first to experience this track when it first opened December 1965, although racing didn't begin until the following year when Clark competed in a Formula 3 race. And of course, yeah, as a young kid, I remember going to that one. Because I do remember in 2003, the weather was so bad, the race didn't even see a green flag running. And all 16 laps were running under the safety car. The championship standings are up on there for you to go through there.
Yeah,
Mr.
Matt
James.
Miller is in first on 76 with Jay Smart in second on 59. Elliot Borg third on 55 with John Silver there on 55 as well. Dylan Gomez up 2 on 50. Steve Baker down 3 on 48, tied with Daniel Johnson. Carl Herlich's amazing climb of 5 places on 33. Had an amazing last round at Sebring. Mason Sagar in 9th. Steve Rubens in 10th. Michael Kostick in 11th. Tamas Boniati in 12th. Ryan Connor 13th. 13th, Lindsey Green 14th, Tyler Gatke 15th, Nathan Graham 16th, Anthony Giuliano in 17th, Zachary Kokos in 18th, Sean Atkins 19th, and Troy Banks down in 20th place. And in the team championship, we have got Burnt Rubber Racing in first on 103, with Cobalt Racing in second on 96, Scudiera Andromeda in third on 87, Bull Shift Racing on 83, Clutches of Wales on 77, Victoria's Secret 66, Shyline Racing in 7th on 60, Broken Wings Racing on 8th on 55, and Blue Ballers in 9th there on 52 points. So there we go. That is the current standings. We are just about to go into qualifying. We are about 10 seconds out currently at the moment. Times Elliot Borg on top of the timing tower on a 1:15.05. So it should be an interesting one to see how them times compare to race times, I think, Biggles. That's going to be the interesting thing, isn't it?
It will be as a TikTok at the moment. We'll be going to our qualifying session. But yeah, keep an eye, as you just mentioned previously, about Kyle Hleski, who gained 5 positions there for the Blue Balls racing team. The Blue Balls racing team, unfortunately, are last place at the moment. But I had to say, Kyle's probably the man that's holding up all those points. And see if he can snip a few here and get his team up there, because they're really close at the bottom of the championship constructions at the moment, Constructors Series. But you know what? With a limited grid, you take an opportunity as you possibly can. Welcome to Fuji. Welcome to the Speedway that has one of the longest straights in the world too, 1.5 kilometers. Of course, everything's bigger and better in Japan. It's also quicker, isn't it, in Japan, mate? As just riding on those subways, about 11 seconds to change delay, I believe it is. Nothing like what you get in the UK, mate. You'd be waiting about 11 minutes and change just to get on the next train.
Do you know what, right? That's very true. Regarding the overground. Regarding the underground, it's not actually too bad if you catch it at the right time of day. Not that in London there is a right time of day, right? Because there isn't. It's just busy all the way through the day. But normally, when you're not trying to squeeze into the carriage like sardines in a tin, you normally get away with about a 5-6 minute wait. And when you think about it, drastically, that's not really a long time, 5-6 minutes. Yeah, the Japanese are like 11 seconds, but at the end of the day, look, I'll deal with 5-6 minutes. I'm quite happy about that. Mentioning the points, though, mind you, with the limited cars we've got tonight, everybody will score points tonight. Even in 14th place, they will get 2 points. So, there is a gain for everyone, and then they get a bonus point for a fastest lap. So if they can get a fastest lap, that'd be great. And then they get the one for the finishing the races. Then they get one for finishing the 0x. And then they get one for the most overtakes. So, it's going to be interesting. There's a lot of points up for grabs here, Biggles. And I think that these guys being on track with 14 cars, with a few people out tonight. And we've also, it's worth mentioning, we haven't got Mac Miller here this evening either. So the championship leader's also out. So... as is, well, Jay Smart's still here, so that's good for him and Elliot Borg and everybody else. But yeah, Matt Miller's not here this evening. And I'd like to point out one thing as well. You mentioned that the start-finish straight is 1.5 kilometres, right? That's probably bigger than my whole high street. So, And
it's a tight hairpin down to turn 1. And keep an eye on Elliot Borg, of course, is going to be setting one of the first times. And look at that Mercedes livery, of course. He's kept the standard Mercedes livery. He's just switched it over to another driver, but... if you do go, obviously, to, I think, the number 63 car for the Mercedes.
This is the number 63 car.
Oh, it is. Anyway, if you go to the Mercedes livery per se, maybe a little bit out and sync on that one. But guess what, mate? Even in 2023, not much of a change, is there, in the liveries, as we've all seen?
No, this is Steve Rubens.
Livery exposures this year so far. Everybody's like all hyped up about something new. It's like, I don't expect what you're going to be changing, of course. The advertisers are still there. The cars are still the same. And Tamas goes to the top of the timesheets, my friend, the Bull Shift Racing team. 16.2 on the clock is the quickest so far.
Do you know one of the interesting things about this year, right? They've, teams are coming out with their liveries, aren't they? And don't get me wrong, they do look good, right? They do look good. One of the things I'm interested in about is the fact that everybody has gone to a black front wing. Now, I asked a question about why has everybody gone to a black front wing. Now, one of the things that people have done here this season is they've gone to a black front wing purely because that layer of paint that they would have to put onto the carbon fibre increases the weight of the car. So what they've done is they've decided, well, we're not going to go to a coloured front wing, we're going to go to a black one, which means we haven't got a paint here, which means they haven't going to increase the weight. Now, Mercedes have taken it a little bit further than this season, right? They've gone to a pretty much a 95% black car altogether. So what they're saying is basically we've saved weight because we haven't stuck paint on our car, on our carbon fibre, which, you know, it seems a bit weird considering all like, you know, you got the lovely red Ferrari and then you got this big old Gert black wing on the front. It
James,
doesn't
I
really
think you're
wash for
right.
me.
But going back to Mr. James Hunt, when he was talking to Murray Walker, did we go, well, Murray, that's absolute. But it's not. It's absolutely true.
It's true. Yeah,
I'll tell you
I'm
what,
not making it
there's
out.
two aspects to this, okay? Speaking to a couple of people that have been involved with engineering Formula One cars before in the past, and I spoke to them about this. I can't mention their names, of course, because they're ex-team members, and some of them are current team members, believe it or not. And there's one of the things, too, is that it's very difficult for teams to spot the wing changes that they do during pit stops, remember, for the downforce at the front wing. Remember, front wing is one of the most things that a driver's teams can change during the 2023 cars. That's the one thing in the 2022 cars. There's one thing they can change a lot. They can't change a lot with the rear diffuser. They can't change a lot with the rear wing. They can change a lot. Like the FIA rules allow them a lot of opportunities to change the front wings a lot. And that fact is that if you can make it difficult to spot with all the cameras, you know how good they are. Like they spot these cameras have like sensors there to even measure the millimeters. And if it's black, well, how's the camera going to try to spot the difference between the paint, you know, the gaps in there? So that's another element to it as well as the weight. Weight always is a key. Then again, weight is weight at the end, mate. So therefore, you have to count out the balance of your weight distribution.
Yeah, I can understand why they've all done it. You know, the Red Coat's in chat, as he always is. And it says the Ferrari does look fantastic. And it does. But wouldn't you want to see a red front wing to match the rest of the car? Like, you get this beautiful, elegant, prancing horse. And then you just get... It's almost like... What it reminds me of is when you go into a shop and it's called the Burger Bar and you order the most fantastic looking burger and then you get the burger and then they shove a hot dog through the middle. It's just pointless. It looks disgusting.
You never had a black burger before, mate? That's
no,
something
mate,
at the Burger Week here in Panama.
I don't like my burgers burnt, bro. They got to be a little bit more realistic.
No, it's not burnt. They had this black bun and all this sort of stuff. I've had this like different type. Yeah, but I understand what you mean.
You get what's saying.
I
It just
beat you,
looks out
damn
of
red
place.
coat. I beat you in the chat. But yeah,
it does.
right.
It just looks out of place. You know, it's like, you know, I don't know. It just doesn't look right. It's like me looking at this W12 now and sticking, I don't know, a NASCAR wing on it or an IndyCar Halo device. It just doesn't wash. You know, it's like ordering Coke and you get water. It's just not the same thing. You know what I mean?
Ordering Coke and you get Pepsi.
Yeah, exactly. But let's catch up with qualifying, guys, while we've gone on a bit of a tangent. Nathan Graham's currently on pole on a 1:15.593, with John Silver on a 1:15.790. Ryan O'Connor. Now, Ryan, mind you, I've been talking to Ryan this week. He ain't been happy with his performances, right? He said to me the other day, he said, James, I'm not happy. So I was like, okay, Ryan, why are you not happy? And he said, I've given myself a good talking to. I said, have you? He said, yeah, I've spoken to myself, which is, I'm not quite sure if that's the first sign of madness or intelligence, really, but there we go. And he said he's not going to take any more risky moves, says Ryan O'Connor. He said he's not going to take any more risky moves, and he's not going to get close to cars due to the fact of iRacing's wonderful netcode that we do see quite often.
So, I know, let's speak about that, James, but yeah, you know what I mean.
Well, whatever. It doesn't bother me, you see. Netcode's netcode and it happens and we all see it.
It's the N-word.
Oh, I don't.
Let's say it.
It's netcode, I can say it. Well, whatever.
Yeah, I know.
Right, but, you know, so Ryan's given himself a good talking to this week. As I say, I'm not really sure if that's intelligence or the first sign of madness that he was talking to himself. The only question I do wonder is whether or not, good evening, Stuart, whether or not he's done it in the mirror. Because do you know the hardest thing about talking to yourself in the mirror, right?
Two things. Zachary, as you talk to yourself in the mirror, but yeah, continue.
Two things you can never do in the mirror. One is stare yourself out because you always end up blinking first. And second, you can never tickle yourself. Did you know that? You can never tickle yourself. Ever. John Silver's going quick as well. I know. It's a bit random fact from me
John
today.
Silver, mate. Look out for the Colombian driver. He's gone the LS Matoya. He wants to take it to the Nathan Graham, of course, who would be your future, obviously, hopefully. Formula One driver. We haven't seen an American Formula One driver in some time. Maybe we were seeing Mr. This year at the moment. I haven't got that
Silver's going to go
top
pole.
of my head.
Silver's going to go pole.
Silver will go pole. But why?
Silver's going to go pole.
A 15.3.
2.5 temps. Oh, Graham's coming back,
of course. He knows Formula One. He's casted Formula One with me. He's well aware of course, that man's even put cameras around Le Mans and everywhere on the planet, as well as he's a massive, huge part of your JP Broadcasting network. Nathan Graham's going fast in the first sector, but I think he made a little bit of a mistake in the second there.
Yeah, he did. But I think that's one of the interesting things about these cars is that, we are hopefully looking at obviously switching over to the W13, right? If people are sitting in chat wondering why we haven't seen the W13, it's because, as we know with iRacing releases, it can go a bit flaky. And unfortunately, we have to be a little bit careful, and we've waited. So I think next season they are going to be going over to the W13. So I think at the end of the day, we will see different players deal with different cars. It's Tyler Gatke's just gone round at the back there, bless him. We've got 4.5 minutes left to qualify, mind you, so we've still got time to get back out on track. But I think from this perspective, at this racetrack, okay, Fuji, as you say, it's got one of the longest straights. It's got one of the most little difficult end sections to a track I've ever seen in my life, when you're going to go right, left, right, left, right, left, right, left, and then you might even have to go one more right to get onto the long start-finish straight. But it's going to be seen now. We've got 14 drivers. Would you, the one and only Mr. Mighty Biggles, would you sit back and try and solidify some points, or would you sit back and think, I'm going to go for this?
That's the difficult part during this part of the season as well. Yes, these cars are very difficult beasts to understand. You definitely hit the nail on the coffin on that one there, James, because you always see that most drivers that I've known, most drivers that are very experienced too in the Formula One cars in the iRacing game, don't go straight to the new beasts. They have to really adjust to it, and they're still adjusting to these W12s before you even bother going to the W13s at this point. Yeah, it's a lot of setup. This is the pinnacle, remember, of motorsports, and it's also the pinnacle of driving. Yeah. So, I mean, you get a GT3 class right now, you probably fill 40 drivers, but when you're getting an F1 machine, you won't fill 40 drivers because they're so difficult to drive, and that's not any fault, obviously, from Lightspeed Racing League. They're fantastic at what they do. It's just you can't. This is probably the number one F1 racing league in iRacing that you're going to find on the planet, because and you have to give it these gladiators, mate. It's so hard to tame these beasts. It really is. And there's race conditions, there's pace conditions, and obviously the pit stops. Yeah, you gotta hit the nail on the coffin on that one, James. That it's a setup. It's so much work.
Yeah. So we haven't lost drivers due to the fact that people aren't turning up, right? They've all got stuff to do. So I'm looking down the list now. So we've got, obviously, Sean Atkins won't be here. Matt Miller, as we know, is not here. Daniel Johnson's out. Steve Baker's out. So, we've got some high rollers out tonight, but it does give everybody else an opportunity. Stuart Stuart's just put in chat, thought I might sit and watch since I've got a bit of an insomnia and can't sleep. Well, to be fair, if I get Biggles to talk long enough, mate, the way his voice sounds, you'll go to sleep in a matter of minutes.
Whoa, all right, shots fired, bang, bang.
It'll be a matter of seconds,
Stuart's casted with me for many hours of racing, my friend, mate. I don't think I'm making him fall asleep yet, but, that's one of the plans. That's one to tick off my bucket list says that makes Stuart fall asleep during a Formula One
story.
cast.
Let him have a snooze. You know what I mean? Bless him.
He's actually a very quick driver too. Whoa, there's a little bit of a
Elliot Borg.
sniplet into the wall.
Yeah, but hold
Yeah,
on a minute. Hold on.
Yeah.
You might sit back and say he's a quick driver, which Stuart probably is, right?
He
but
is,
he's also the fact that he's on a controller.
Which makes him even faster than everybody else.
I know. The thing is, right, if I drive iRacing on a controller like I do the F1 game on a controller, I'm pretty good on a controller for the F1 games, to be fair, on the PlayStations and stuff.
Yeah.
So it'd be interesting if I had an attack at iRacing on a controller, whether or not I'd be quicker on a controller than I would on a steering wheel. But then...
So are you talking,
I'd
James, about a future exhibition race of casters versus casters for an exhibition race? That'd be something for everybody out there.
Maybe,
as
but
the fans to watch. I mean,
we'll have to
all
do
of the
controllers
broadcasting
only.
network you have, and you have such a talented team, right? And not just broadcasters and casters,
Yes.
but you have a talented team of drivers too. They all race, 90% of them apart from me. So that would actually, I'd love to see you going against Stuart, you going against Dan, you going against Zachary, and me, of course.
yeah, but hold on a minute.
All
You've got to think
so
these
wouldn't that
kids are
be good?
younger than me. Yeah, but I'm
Doesn't
not
matter.
saying,
It doesn't matter, mate. No, age is no excuse.
Well, anyway, I'm not saying
Alonso's
it won't
still
be
in
good.
Formula One, right? He can still win races. Come on.
Yeah, but he come out. He made me. Oh, I don't know. I really used to like Alonso, right? And then he did something this week that drove me crazy. He's clearly been drinking the Kool-Aid from Aston Martin to come out and sit back and say Lance Stroll is a young, talented driver, he's a future world champion. The only thing Lance Stroll's going to be good at is bankrupting his father with the amount of carbon fibre he's got to replace. Because let's be honest, I'm not being rude here, but Jesus Christ, my 5-year-old can drive better than Lance Stroll. I've got to be honest.
Oh, all right, James. You know that
He's
for a fact that your
he's not
Aston
my
Martin's
favourite.
never being parked in your garage by saying that one. Jay
no,
Smart,
mate,
who can do anything.
Hey, Mr. Stroll's not going to send me an Aston Martin and say thanks for your kind comments, is he?
Oh, Jay Smart. Can Jay Smart do it? Oh, he's in.
He's
Go
done
on
it!
the top of the time, James.
Oh!
Oh, I didn't think his first sector did it, but he did do it. He got it. He had the dying seconds of this. The clutches of Wells Racing. Ba-boom. Fuji is yours.
Oh, right, the end there. Jace Martin first, John Silver second, Nathan Graham third, Ryan O'Connor fourth. Elliot Borg is there in fifth place. Thomas Boniatti sixth, Dylan Gomez seventh, Michael Kostick eighth, Zachary Coker's ninth, Carl Herlick tenth, Steve Rubens 11th, Tyler Gatke is in 12th place. Beyond that, Mason Sagar 13th, Lindsay Green is down in 14th there as well. And come on, you got to see where I'm coming from with Stroll, right? I'm you know.
I totally agree with you, James. I totally agree with you. Just that I like an Aston Martin parked in my garage one day, and I don't want to be. Honestly, mate, I do understand. I do understand that. It's called paid money, paid drivers, and they're not necessarily the best drivers in Formula One.
Daddy's the owner. You know what I mean? Look at Maldonado.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, exactly.
God blimey, Maldonado.
As the damn redcoat says,
he
the
must have
shots are
cost
fired.
Williams. Yeah, he must have cost Williams an absolute blinking fortune. Did Maldonado?
Hey, but it's an expensive motorsport, my friend, and you do need to have paid drivers. I like your camera there.
Right, here we go.
You're watching John. But then again, look at that. Mr. Smart has to handle this one. Welcome to Fuji. Welcome to race one. Long run down to turn one, James.
Yeah, here we go. Lights are out. Jay Smart's got the jump on Nathan Graham with John Silver. Nathan Graham's up one. He's jumped John Silver already. Is he going to try and get past the outside of Jay Smart in turn one? He's not going to get it this time as they go running down into three. Here at the Coca-Cola corners, the left-hander, and it's Smart, Graham, Silver, O'Connor, Boniatti here leading us away of this 3-lap sprint race. Don't forget, guys, we've got 3 laps, then we've got a 5-minute warm-up, then we've got a 38-lap feature here this evening with pit stops and tyre changes. But at the moment, everybody seems to have got away cleanly. A few jumps in positions, Biggles, but nothing major at the moment.
Well, Mason Sega down P9's gained 4 positions. A great launch there. Zachary in P7 has gained a couple of places, but so far everybody else, a couple of places. Changeroo. Remember, this is a 3-lap sprint race, so they're going to be gambling a lot more than they would be doing for a regular feature race we've seen in the past. But this is probably your only couple of opportunities to overtake because no DRS is going to be available. You have a full battery inside that W12 beast.
Yeah, and it's Thomas Baniati in 5th place as they come round the final corner. Is he going to be making this attack on Ryan O'Connor? He's got his teammate Elliot Borg right behind him as well. There's a lot of weaving going on there. You're not weaving a jumper, John Silver. You know what I mean? We are on a racetrack. Keep it one move, buddy. Keep it one move. Otherwise, you'll be able to knit me a scarf. It's that cold here in the UK at the moment while you're going down the start-finish straight there, mate. As we see,
James, they're allowed to
Silver.
weave as long as they're not weaving into the breaking point. That's
Yeah,
the main thing.
I'll give over. Right, one move, deal with it. If you're going to get overtaken, it ain't going to matter if you're going to weave a jumper, a scarf, or a hat by the time you get down to the first corner. You're still going to get overtaken.
James, you obviously don't race the W12s, do you? You need to be breaking every ton of possible little bit of aerodynamic performance you can at the moment. Because remember, these are the W12s from the dirty air period, not the W13s when they reduced that air period.
I just don't like it. All right?
Well,
and I'm allowed.
You have to put up with it because you're here.
I'm going to, purely because John Silver told me I have to. But I'm just saying, you know, chuck him some wool and a few knitting needles and be able to knit me a jumper by the time he's finished weaving down that start finish straight. But there we go.
If you're weaving in cold tyres, my friend, you could be struggling a little bit. Look at the gap difference that they are struggling out of the final Panasonic corner, of course. So now in the main straightaway, this is, remember, the 1.5k or so straightaway. It's an overtaken opportunity, but without the DRS, look at the Craig Sager there on Gonez. That's a battle for P9, P8 as well.
Yeah, Sega on the left-hand side, Gonez on the right as they go racing down into turn one. Is it going to be Sega making another move? Is he going to go up 5 places? He's got to send it. Oh, Gonez has gone in deep. Oh, dearie me. Dylan Gonez going deep into turn one. It's putting behind Mason Sega now as we go on the final lap of the race. And it's Jay Smart currently out in front with Nathan Graham second, John Silver third, Ryan O'Connor fourth, Elliot Borg in fifth, with Kokos behind in sixth, Boniatti, Sagar, Gonez, Rubens, Kostic, Hurlix, Gatke and Lindsay Green.
And keep it on Kostic, because I think Kostic can be making a run at Rubens, actually. He's so close. He'd almost reach out and touch the rear fender here. You see the blinking lights. Yeah, look at this. He's going to be overtaking opportunity, but you got to be bold and brave and stick it on the outside. He's got to be defending, of course, for the machine, the blue machine in P12. Last opportunities, perhaps. Of course, it's a 3-lap sprint, so you got to go, kind of go for it right now, but you don't want to be spinning the wrong direction. But at this point, James, if you're down in P11, P12, you've got nothing to lose.
It's not going to matter because Jay Smart is going to come across the line. He's going to take the checkered flag here this evening for the 3-lap sprint at Fuji. It's going to be Smart, Graham, Silver, Connor, Borg, Boniatti, Zachary Kokos just there with Mason Sager behind him, Dylan Gona, Steve Rubens, Michael Kostic. Side by side as they go down the line. It's going to be Rubens. Then Kostic, then Hurlix, and Gatke, then Green. So there we go. We go into a brief little period of warm-up. We'll bring you up the results from the 3-lap sprint. It's Jay Smart in first, Nathan Graham second, John Silver third, Ryan O'Connor fourth, Elliot Borg fifth, Boniatti in sixth, Coco seventh, Sagar eighth, Gonaz ninth, Rubens in 10th, Kostic 11th, Hurlix in 12th, Gatke 13th, and Green down in 14th. Now, I want to point out, I did pick up on your comment, Mr. Redcoat. He has said, so if he beats Alonso this year, will you eat your hat, sir?
Ooh.
Well, but
will he shave his beard? That's probably a good one, isn't it? Yes. Will James shave his beard? There you go.
I can't
give him a challenge.
Right.
Eat your hat.
I can't shave.
I can eat a hat.
No, I can't shave my beard. I can't.
You can.
No, I can't because I look younger than my 17-year-old if I chop my beard off. You know, some people at my age.
You have to throw the gauntlet down if you're going to put a challenge up like that one. But just go back to that one real quickly. I have to give it to Tamas. Tamas got towards the end there, got a place up there. You got to remember he's for the Bullshit Racing team, and he got it on the clutches of Racing Wales of Racing team. So that's crucial there for a couple extra points in that championship battle. But back to your beard challenge.
Yeah, because he got up Elliot Borg in 5th, Boniatti in 6th there. So they've got a good haul of points this time. So well done to them. No, I can't shave my beard off because I look about 12. So I'm definitely not going to be shaving off my beard. So there we go. Well, I'm afraid I'd rather eat a hat. Do you know, I don't mind eating a hat as long as it's made of cake. Because it's
not a fair challenge.
Well, I wear a woolen hat, right? I wear like a woolen beanie in the winter because it gets cold and I don't like being cold.
Eat the whole. We don't have like 3 hours for you to sit and munch on the hat.
Mate, I couldn't eat it. Can you imagine that, sending a hat through your body? It would be like... No, not happening.
Yeah, of course. So you can't eat a hat, but you can shave a beard.
Yeah, I can do that.
If you don't shave a beard, how do you shave your hair?
I don't. My wife does it. She's
You could be a bald brother like me if you want, mate. You can go bald. No. Maybe even donate. We can do that for a charity and donate some cash as well too. Hey, think about the positives here, mate. You've already supported the children. In your broadcasting before, right? And donated what, £1,500 plus pounds?
£1,500. It was at the end.
Yeah. So maybe James shaves his head or beard or I don't know.
Mate,
Shave something, James.
I would need to use polish on my barnet rather than hairspray or hair gel. I can't shave it off. Redcoat says, sounds like a great thing to wager. Your beard, I mean. Oh, great.
Yeah, come on.
And Gonaz is in here saying he don't like the track, he don't understand it. It's sweet, but I do not understand it, he says. So there we go.
All right, so going back to that one, maybe we'll talk about that later in the season then, James. Maybe it could be for a double-edged sword here. Like, you'll do it for a bet, and you'll do it also if there's a certain amount of money raised for charity. How's that sound? Would you do it for the kids? You'd do it for the kids.
Of course. Don't pin.
Well, there you go.
It's
See,
like sending me down,
James.
It's sending me down guilty lane, aren't you? You know what I mean?
I have to.
Here's a guilt trip. Go down there. I'm like, oh, cheers. Thanks, mate. I love you too.
You want me to shave my head, mate? No problem. You want me to shave my beard? No problem.
Yeah, but you ain't got any hair, have you?
Yeah, no.
Exactly.
So it doesn't matter. Maybe if we get Dan to shave his head. Oh, no, Dan, talk to Dan about that.
Oh, yeah, get Dan to shave his head. He's got a lot of curly clots on. That'd be amazing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
He'd probably
Dan
go back
his
real
head.
quickly as well, too,
Exactly.
with that Dutch...
I'd need to put polish on my polish on my head. Actually, I probably have to put. Well, I would say put sun cream on, but I live in the UK. We don't get sun, so
maybe we could talk to the drivers in the championship. They get very close in the championship as well too. We can start throwing that spanner in the bank, can't we? As to who's going to win it.
See what we could do as well. Whoever wins the race has got to shave their beard, or hair. That would be funny.
Yeah.
I wonder how many people would just crash on lap one and go, "I'm out."
Yeah, but they could lose a championship. There's got to be the last rounds when you're doing it, mate. Got to be the last rounds when you got to either win a championship or lose a championship. And you're not going to bin it just because you don't want to shave beard.
Well, we'll see. Redcoat's in
and
there.
it's also a donation to charity. But yeah, exactly, James. As I said, they were a little bit of a warm up.
Redcoat's got his pom-poms out, going, shave the beard, do it for the kids.
Yeah.
I could just imagine him. Do you know the funniest thing is, I could just imagine him in a blinking cheerleader's outfit. Give me an
James,
S.
it doesn't take long to grow off, mate. That doesn't take long to grow back.
I know it doesn't take long to grow back, but I just look about 10. It's not even
You look 10
funny.
for what? 10?
All right, I'll tell
not
you
even
what,
10 weeks.
Let's put it this way. If Alonso finishes above Stroll in the season championship at the end of the last race, then I will shave my beard.
No, that's out of our control.
Exactly.
It's got to be related to your broadcasting network, the JP Broadcasting Network. It has to be related here. We have no control over the Formula One. I'm not going to text Alonso right now and say, Alonso, can you please beat Lance Stroll so James will shave his beard?
Does anybody else think Biggles missed the point of this conversation here? Because he said, if Stroll beats Alonso, are you going to eat your hat? Well, I'm not. But here's the grid for race 2. We've got Jay Smart in first, Nathan Graham second, John Silver third, Ryan O'Connor fourth, Elliot Borg fifth, Thomas Boniatti in sixth, Zachary Coco seventh, Sagar eighth, Gonaz ninth, Rubens 10th, Kostic 11th, Carl Herlich's down in 12th place. Then beyond that, we've got Tyler Gatke, Lindsay Green in 13th and 14th, respectively. So there we go. So we're just waiting for Mr. Smart to get on there as well. He's really killing my pole cam because he don't get on early enough. So therefore, my pole cam just looks somewhat irrelevant, spinning around an empty space.
Get in there, mate.
Look at
and
this.
not to mention, because Mac Miller's not here this evening, remember? The man leading the championship, Jay Smart is second in the championship. Jay Smart gets up the road right now. Nathan has to do something here, James.
Yeah, here we go. We're going to be lights on. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And we are green here at Fuji for the 38-lap feature race from the LSR F1 broadcast live on the JPB YouTube channel with myself and Dean Biggles. Jay Smart's gone in deep in turn 1. That's going to free up Nathan Graham to have a go at him on this run round 2 and 3. Everybody currently still on track, so that's amazing. Everybody's made it around the first few corners. And at the moment, the gainers are on the left-hand side of this. Herlich's got 3, Borg up 2, Sagar 2, Boniatti 1. Sagar carries on his amazing climb from race 1 where he's gone down. But John Silver slipped down the order 4 places there, Biggles. He must have got a horrible start.
Yeah, a little bit of a bumping and tongue in the midfield. You can see at the moment there. It's just behind Tamas, but Tamas is actually trying to put him a challenge. There's a bit of a lock-up as you go through the twisty section. Of course, on sector 3. Could be some contact there, James. I'm not 100% sure, but that's at the back of the field there with Dylan. And that's Kyle up the road there, gained 3 positions. I'm still curious to see whether or not Nathan's going to try to do something with Jay Smart, because I'm really worried if Jay Smart gets away with this. If Jay Smart gets away with this, he's gone. Nathan has to give it everything he's got. I think Dylan's gone off the racetrack as well, too, for a replay on that one, James. But Nathan cannot afford. Remember, Nathan's 16th in the championship here. He's not even anywhere near where Jay Smart is second in the championship here. And Jay Smart knows Mac Miller's not in town, who's leader. And at this point, you've got to give it everything, you'd have to say, there for Nathan, because they get a race win. But he cannot let Jay Smart get away with this. Because we all know when Jay Smart runs away with this, unless Mac Miller's in town, he's gone, mate. He's gone. Yeah. He's in Suzuka when we're in Fuji.
And that's one of the things there as well. Gomez did go off track. We will have a quick look back at that right now. So it's coming in to turn 12 and 13.
So snapper. Oh, hit the
curbs, man.
Yeah, curbs, the horrible curbs, of course.
As we go back.
Yeah, Nathan's got to do
racing.
something here, mate. Nathan does have to attack and attack and attack. He's got to keep the pace up. He's at 2 seconds and two tenths down the road here. Look at that fantastic camera angles that you're seeing here for the JP Broadcasting Network on YouTube. And they're about a second and change down the road. Graham's attack. His time to attack is probably down here, James, in turn one. What do you reckon?
Yeah, he's going to try and get him around the outside. It's not the most easiest line to take. Smart hugs that inside line here. Here we go down into turn one. They're side by side. Smart on the left. Graham on the right. Is Graham going to try and run him around the outside? Smart tucks him up. They go round turn two. Graham's going to have the inside for free. Is he going to take it here? Can Smart run him as well? They're still side by side. Oh.
And look at the background as well. Elliot Book's definitely a part of this party, my friend, but it ain't over yet. Good defense there from Jay Smart, but you know they have to apply the pressure. They know if Jay Smart gets up the road, it's a game over. Elliot Boggs in here, and also Mr. Ryan O'Connor has joined this party, mate, all within DRS activation, which will come up soon.
Yeah,
if not earlier. Elliot Boggs making an attempt. Elliot Boggs sees the opportunity. He said, Mr. Graham, I've caught you sleeping. As James would say, your door's open. Has he been burgled, James? I think he has.
Yeah, definitely. He's just stole his TV and everything else there, did Nathan Graham. You can't leave it wide like that, mate. Definitely should have been a little bit more defensive, but it is Graham now down to a position in third. Borg up one into second, and Smart is gone. A second out down the road. He's broken the DRS chain already. Graham's got DRS. You can see that on his steering wheel there, guys. But the two lights come on to say it's been activated. 4 lights tells you it's been opened. So you can see there, Elliot Borg managed to grab DRS, right? And I'm a little bit confused with that, considering he was over that second gap. So I am a little bit confused.
Yeah, but he had the main straightaway, James. That's going to give you even the toe. And that was crucial to not let Smart get away. Now, I love Jay Smart. Jay Smart's been brilliant all season, of course, but I want to see these competitors go against him here because there's no Mac Miller time. So, you know, these gladiators have to. Elliot Bulcourt third in the championship at the moment, bringing it to Elliot, Jay Smart. Mac Miller's not here. You got to give it fantastic job, as you mentioned there, for Nathan in P3. All hanging on DRS. Ryan's just on the scrub line of that DRS as they make their way into Sector 3. This is the crucial part, of course. The DRS will now be activated coming up that main straightaway. And how close can Elliot Borg get? How close can Nathan get into the back of Elliot Borg? It's going to be crucial right now, James. This is absolutely fantastic. Lap 4.
Borg's got round.
Oh, no, Borg has got around. Exactly. That means it's going to be... Well, what's going to happen there? Everybody else has actually dropped out of the DRS range as well, too. So now the battle's actually consuming for Sylvia, John Sylvia in P5.
Oh,
Silva, sorry.
Steve Rubens has gone off as well. Ball come back on track. And unfortunately for Rubens, he got caught up in the rejoin. But it is Boniate, Silva, and O'Connor battling away.
You got to commit now. The DRS closes. Boom.
He can't. Silva's not close enough. Silva is not close enough to have a look up the inside of Borg. He's just not going to get him. And I can't see where he's going to make it. All he's got to do now is try and stay with him for the rest of these laps before he gets down onto that long straight. There's just nowhere else he can have a go. And if he's going to have a go, as the saying goes, come and have a go if you think you're hard enough. Well, if Silva's hard enough in a W12, he can have a go, but there's nowhere on the rest of this circuit that he's really going to be able to throw it up the inside. I think
James Silva's, well, Thomas is showing on the soft tyres, but I think Silva's on there. Here we got a little messed up on the telemetry on that one.
Silva's on the mediums.
Silva's in the medium. Okay, so it's all messed up at the moment. I believe the other drivers are on the soft tyres, but look at that at the moment. Unfortunately, that attempt now. Now Graham's in the DRS range. A little bit of an overspeed moment. That'd be going to lose in that position. Big two for analogy moment, James. Yep, definitely the TV's gone. Maybe not yet, my friend. Maybe the stereo's been returned. Maybe oops, my bad. I didn't mean to burgle you.
Yeah, unfortunately though for Boniatti, he did get loose, and that's allowed Silver to come up and DRS. Boniatti has got nothing. You've got nothing there. The only thing you're going to be able to do there, Mr. Boniatti, is throw your anchor out and hope you catch his rear wing to pull you along, because you've got no DRS, you've got no defence down the inside. Silver's gone, and that's it. That's the end of that one, mate. Live to fight another day and try and stay with him here for the rest of the lap, because you've got to go again on that start-finish straight. Smart has opened up a 1 second lead out front. Graham's opened up about 2.5 to Ryan O'Connor. O'Connor, of course, is the new man on this race, he's told me. I'm a new man, he said. No silly manoeuvres. I'm just going to try and finish the race, which is great. And Elliot Ball battling down here with Michael Kostick down in 8th and 9th place, respectively. So all
he's gained
all,
one. And Elliot Book kind of charging back after a little bit of a mistake-a-roo, and that's an easy-peasy overtake there as Elliot gets up. I'd have to say it was Michael that went a little bit too deep. I'll tell you one thing to look for, James. I mentioned at the start of the show, didn't I? Kyle Herleski, I think he's named for the Blue Ballers. 6 positions gained, man, for the 22 car. I did tell you that he was a man on a rampage in that last race. He's a man on the rampage on this race, and keep an eye out for him a little bit later on into the race.
Yeah, he just seems to be getting this track. I think that's a good thing. He made massive gains in the first one, and now he's making gains in the second one. Carl Herlitz catch up with Boniatti 2.1 seconds down the road. I'll tell you what will be interesting is whether or not Kostick can hang on. Oh, dude, you got to.
And John and Ron. Yeah, you have to go back to that one in a second. John and got past Ryan, sorry, not Ron. Yep, there it is, and you got the replays of that one. Sorry to cut you off there, James, but you're going to make it stick, of course, through the S's.
Yeah, he got it down into the start-finish straight, didn't he? It's a nice, simple overtake there as well for John Silver. Can O'Connor come back? Remember, you're a new man. You're a changed man, Mr. O'Connor. You can do this. Isn't that right, Redcoat?
I keep an eye out for Tamas in the background as well, too, mate. This is an opportunity, if an opportunity presents itself. Good to see Graham still within the DRS activation-ish zone of J Smart, but that's still the battle for P1, P2. But more importantly, James, as you mentioned, go back to that battle for P4, P5. That's the one you really want to be keeping your eyes sharpened and glued to the screens here at the JP Broadcasting Network on YouTube. That's where the battle is
Silver got
right now. And that's a mistake for John.
That's going to allow O'Connor. Yeah, O'Connor is through. Silver's got nothing. Same situation. He's got nothing. He can't defend. He lost to DRS.
And on top of it, yeah,
2
up
positions
the road.
gone.
Oh yeah, is that like a lift off? You have to be slow. That's a slowdown for sure, isn't it?
No, he got out. The problem for John, he come around that last corner, hit the accelerator too soon. The back end went all a little bit wiggly, right? The problem is for him, Boniatti got DRS off O'Connor. O'Connor got DRS off Silver, and Silver had nothing. So he sat there, with the steering wheel in his hand going, I can't do nothing here. These boys have got a massive overspeed on me. And it's gone down the order. Now, Graham did get that gap down up front. I've got to be honest. He got it down to about 4 tenths. But it's now back out to about 8 tenths again here as well. So, Elliot Borg still battling away with Shyline Racing Mason Sagar, who's trying to catch up with Carl Herlitz up front here, who's up 6 positions. So, there we go.
8 of 38 at the moment. Everybody's enjoying this one. As Sean Atkins goes, let's go, boys. Let's go, of course. Keep an eye on Mr. Silver. Keep an eye on Colombian man. He's making a run, I think, for P4. And that's on Thomas. And where it is, it's going to be side by side. James is going to get it stick. Does he make it stick? No DRS activation here, but down the main straight. There it is. There's your 17 kilometers now, but they both get it, James. They both get it. Who's going to make the run on the turn 1?
Yeah, Silver's on the right-hand side going down. He's got the inside line. Can Boniatti running around the outside and take the inside for free. Boniatti's got to be brave. Oh, that's not going to be good. A massive lock-up on the right front there. Unfortunately, that will be a nice little vibration bald spot on his car. Herlich's DRS looked like it was wide open all the way round turn 1 there. That was a little bit bizarre, or that may have been some glitches
Elliot
in the...
Borg in play, my friend. After he's down in position, Elliot Borg was battling for P2. Now he's battling all the way for P8. And Elliot Borg, we all know, has some pace. He's 3rd in the championship. And he wants to be a little bit more than P8 currently at the moment.
Yeah, he's on his way back through, isn't he, Mr. Borg? So it's going to be interesting to see here. how long he stays here. I think that's going to be the interesting thing.
Are we looking at his rear diffuser? That's a little rude.
Yeah, it's under the diffuser.
Did you ask him permission first to look at his rear diffuser, James?
No, I could say something now, but I've got to be careful how I'm going to word it, so I'm not going to say anything.
I got James, here we go. Yeah. Well, rear diffuser or not, front diffuser, it's either be in front or behind, my friend.
Done there. Borg's got it done. Problem for O'Connor, he's got no DRS now.
I want to see if Jay Smart makes a run down the main straightaway.
He's not close
because we haven't
enough.
seen it for a while. No, he's too far back. He still has to hold back Mac Bill. I mean, not Mac Bill, of course. I keep thinking of Jay Smart is so good at this. But here we go.
Silver's past O'Connor. But then again, he runs wide.
Yeah, so he went wide. That's going to cost you a ton of time here in Fuji.
Mate, for Silver, he's got to settle a little bit. He's making the moves, which is great. But then the over move of the move that he's just done, it's almost like he's celebrating the fact he's got round, and then, hey, presto, he's gone. He's managing to hold on here.
Got it here, mate. He got it here.
No, he can't. O'Connor's a changed man. That's all I'm going to say. And I'm going to keep saying it throughout the next 28 laps
He's got to defend, James. He's got to defend because he's going to be under DRS, mighty DRS attack if he can survive Sector 3, of course, right now. You can see on your track map, and then if you make an error like that, my friend, good defense. I have to say Ryan was clever to lift off, but there's contact. I was going to say, because Ryan lifted off, that's bring contact into play, James. I don't know if you can put a fault to anybody on that one. That's a slowdown, speed, and bang, we have to get the replay of that one. Jay Smart may be looking for a run here. Jay Smart's going to be super close to Graham for the lead of this race. Can Jay Smart be overtaken by Graham? Can Jay Smart finally lose this one? Graham set one on the inside. This is tight, James. He's going to make it stick. Look at this, side by side.
As they go down through turn 2. Jog done into 3. He's got to come and take his nose off. Come on. Oh,
Jay's covered him. Graham's given everything he possibly has. The yellow machine. It's trying it, James. He needs a little bit of an extra gear, whatever. Jay Smart's doing the Jay Smart mastermind, but I'll tell you what right now, Mr. Graham, Nathan Graham, is not yielding whatsoever. He is applying pressure, tooth and nail. And what excitement on 11 of 38. And we got replays, of course, coming for that other incident before there, James.
Yeah, we'll have a look back very, very shortly. These guys are going to be going down the start-finish straight. I just want to see how this one pans out before we go to the replay here, because I've got a funny feeling for Mr. Smart, Mr. Graham is going to be making a move, young sir.
Get the DRS. Can you go aboard right now if we can with Mr. Graham? I want to see the powerhouse of there. He's got the 44 car drones in the #1 machine. He's on #1 from the United States of America. Here we go. DRS can be activated. Get a little beep in your ear. Is he going to make it run, James? He's going to flick it off.
It's going to be done. It'll be done before they even get in the braking zone. There you go. He just carried too much. But let's have a look back at this Boniatti incident with Mr. Smart. With Mr. O'Connor, see what happens.
This is going to be an interesting one, isn't it? Because they're side by side.
The
There's a
door's
lift.
open.
There's it. It was a lift. Yeah. And there's contact there. Honestly, James, I'm looking at it, it's because Thomas had the lift off, right? The other drivers are coming through. He's come back onto the track. He didn't expect, I guess, the driver behind him having so much speed. If you see it again,
Watch O'Connor.
So Thomas
lifts.
has gone for the attack. He's lifted, and then he's gone back on, trying to go back on the racing line. He got blind spot, and bang, didn't realize.
Yeah, then Herlix comes through like a
Thomas,
freight
of course.
train.
That was the other driver. Yeah. So I have to say this is a one-on-one racing incident, and you can't really blame any of the gladiators on that one because they're just going for what they're trying to do best.
They are. Nathan Graham here in first. Jay Smart's now got to try and stay with him, or at least attack him again here on lap 12. Don't forget we have got a 38-lap race. Smart did get a little bit squirrely out in the last corner. It's lost him a lot of time. He is going to pull it back with a DRS, but he's not going to get it this time around into turn 1.
No,
it's just not close enough.
Dummy. Yeah, look at Nathan parking in the middle. So he's going off the racing line. And I got to mention, James, they are now 9 seconds and change down from P3. 9 seconds and change. So I told you it was crucial. As much as I do love you, Mr. J Smart, I do love you. I think you're a fantastic driver. You're second in the championship. But I wanted to make sure that somebody's going to keep you honest during this race. And I'm glad that Nathan is. Because I knew if J Smart was to run away with this one, I don't think anybody would catch him. And good on Nathan for keeping him honest right now, and absolutely keeping him honest, because this is going to be a definitely fight for the race win, as well as we're going to have fights for further down the field.
Yeah, we're on lap 13 of 38, so there we go, Stuart. Thank you for that. I didn't actually realise that had caused an issue, but there we go. We are back up and running. The overlay is back on your screens at home. Thank you again. Really tight battles there's a couple going on at the moment, and don't forget these guys have no English, James, speak English. They do have to pit. Okay, they've got to pit and at least change their tyre. They've got to change tyres. They've got to fuel. They're not fueling because they're on 100% fuel, but they've got to change tyres. So they've got to get rid of these mediums and they've got to go. But Smart's trying to go now. Is he going to be able to go down the outside of turn one?
No.
He's going to come
Graham's
back.
continued. Oh, no. I was going to say, Graham was parking it in the middle to try to defend. And unfortunately, he's gone, I can't get the racing line off there. He's going to... Now, it's important for Graham to come back on this one and just stick with DRS. He can't afford, once again, to let J Smart's going to probably murder me after this one and go, Biggles, why are you picking on me so much? Just because I don't want you to get away with this one, J Smart. You're sick of the championship. Mr. Nathan's 16th in the championship, okay? So he's giving you a run for your money. That's good to see. Further back at the moment, run for the money. That's for Mr. Kyle. Battling for P7.
Carl Hurlick, Zachary Coco is really close together here. This is your positions, as I said, 4, 7, and 8 at the moment. So let's see how these guys got on. Do you know, I thought of a really good analogy when Graham went in deep into turn one. Did you know that?
No. What were you thinking of, James?
I was thinking, right? Well, let me just see if it happens again. Let me see. I don't want to spoil them. Oh, body out. He's gone round.
Oh, yeah. Was that contact in the corner or just a little bit too deep in the brakes?
I think he went round. He got out.
Oh, he's going to get off the racing line.
Get off! Oh, bro.
That's dangerous. Oh, it almost reminds you of the Bathurst 12-hour that we did on the weekend, mate, when they go down the dipper and somebody hits the tangle of the wall. But keep an eye on P6 and P5 as well, too. Because it looks like yeah, there it is. There's Michael and Elliot Borg.
Yeah, it looks like Kostic has got him. Kostic's now up 5 into turn one. Behind that, you can see Coco's going across there as well. Hurlick's on the right. He's going to get the job done as well, but it looks fit. There's not much defending.
He left it big time there.
Yeah, he kind of lifted and let him through, which is a bit of a shame. Body out, he's now chasing down Gatke. Both got DRS on this one down into turn one. So has Lindsay Green as well got DRS. So there's like a freeway DRS chain then. And Body out, he gets through as well after spinning around more times down.
I think Elliot Borg's gone for John, mate. Elliot's gone for John because remember Elliot was going in basically for P2 of Nathan earlier. And now he's on a rampage coming back. He's charging back big time. You look over his rear diffuser of Mr. John S. Silva trying to hold off Elliot Borg. And that's going to be a tough task. Of course, Elliot Borg is third in the championship. John is fourth in the championship. So they're going to be in two for now, John. I was going to say, John, you're James. There's going to be no love lost between these drivers in round 6 here for the Light Speed Racing League for Formula 1.
Yeah, he's not close enough. Borg is not close enough. He's going to be pulling that back, but he's just not.
You know what I'm worried about, James?
What?
As well? Jay Smart's now got a 1.7 gap over Nathan. That's what I was worried about. If he gets away, he gets away. It's got to be up to Nathan, mate. I don't know. Pit stop strategies might be your play soon. And, of course, they're going to be boxing. So he needs to do something at the moment. Otherwise, Jay's gone and off to Suzuka. It's crucial right now that these drivers can do something where they need to be doing something. At the moment, Mr. Short Rice is well aware of that, mate, as a Formula 1 driver and a Formula 1 caster. He knows exactly what happens during pit stops. Elliot Borg is under massive pressure there from the Colombian driver. Colombian driver has to hold him up. But when are they going to be boxing? Boxing is the key coming up. 16 to 38.
Yeah, Silver's in front of Borg. We have had Dylan Gomez go into the pits. As we say, he was in on the soft tyres, I believe. Whatever he's out on the mediums. O'Connor's coming out on hards. Mind you, O'Connor went into the pits a while ago and has come out. So there we go. O'Connor's now out on hard tyres. He pitted on lap 10 there. So he's obviously clearly going to go straight for the end speed run and hope that other people suffers. But I think here for Lindsay Green, who's trying to chase down Thomas Boniatti, it's more of a stay with him into the DRS zone, dear sir. And so is Elliot Borg and John Silver, still led by Silver, mind you, Biggles.
I think Borg's going to send dummy here on the outside here and then just pretend and lift off maybe, not get the track position. maybe get the speed through here. That's going to be all dependent on. See, he's got a switch rear, of course. That's the great thing about Fuji, mate. He's got. You don't think you get it in the turn one. You don't, because you got the couple of the S's after.
Yeah, Steve Rubens just lost a place to Lindsay Green as well. Green down in 9th and 10th with Boniatti behind him. Oh, a big puff of smoke there. This is going to release Boniatti now. Watch out, Green. He's on his way, dear sir. You've either got to shut the door or leave it. Ooh, hold on. Where did you go?
Yeah, Bonnie left it completely. Didn't even want to be a part of that party, my friend. And the amazing thing is that the graphics are showing he's on the soft tires. So, is those soft tires cooked? Are they baked? You can't get the traction down.
No,
maybe
he's now
he's
just
going
got
to challenge
past him.
the outside.
I don't understand.
Yeah.
I don't
Maybe
get
there's some
why...
sort of FIA liftoffs. I don't know what's going on there.
Oh, I don't know why Boniatti lifted off there. That was just insane. He lifted. He could have got him earlier. Lifts off and then goes and gets him anyway. Borg's now being tracked down by Silver. So let's see how this one's going to pan out. Is Silver going to get this place back on down into turn one? We saw him go. He's got it.
If I was Elliott, I'd let it go. Well, because Elliott's got the soft tires. So Elliott, I want to see if he can make the traction on the outside. The soft tires are still paying off. They are. There's a little bit of a contact. There's a little bit of argy-bargy there. Elliott Borg has got the tires, and it's a matter of where he can make it stick around here. So you get the power down. Does he have enough traction? Or if Sylvia is just enough on there with the medium tires, got a little bit more of that traction. That's going to be the key. But I tell you what, the softs still look pretty strong there, James.
You got it right the first time. You said Silva, and then you changed it to Sylvia.
Well, because I'm thinking of Espanol, my friend. But anyway, he's already agreed that I'm okay with both of those. Yeah. It's good to see Graham down actually within the 1 second marker as well, too. So with that 1.8 second gap that Mr. Smart had is now shaved down to within the 1 second DRS, which is crucial, as you know, here in Formula One when you need the DRS activation. We'll see how that pans out. They're on the similar tires. Anybody get a box at the moment here? Anybody dive in the pit lane?
No,
I think it might be. So. Yes, it is. There it is. And that's Borg. And they're following, James. They're following. No, it's a dummy. So Borg goes in. He's on the soft tires.
Yeah, he does. Borg is in to the pits. He's on the softs. He'll probably go out 20 laps, though, on the mediums. He can do that, surely.
Oh, absolutely, mate. Yeah, absolutely.
Oh, Silver gets the squirrel on. Jay Smart and Nathan Graham are back together again here. Neither of these guys have pitted. So
I'm wondering right now if Nathan's going to just follow James into the pit, Jay into the pit lane. That's going to be the key, because now Jay Smart has to be the one to make the decision. If he goes in the pit road, now if you are Mr. Nathan Graham, you can sit back a little bit and just go, well, am I going to... Well, you can see on the track map, they're going to come around a final couple of sectors here, a couple of corners. Now, if Jay Smart goes in, Graham has enough time, even if he tries to dummy, and we see that quite often here at Lightspeed Racing, don't we? If he tries to dummy him in the pit road, there we go. Now, if you're going to swing it over to the right-hand side, does it look like it? No. Going for another lap, James.
Yeah, he's going to go medium softs, I think. We've been told to have some patience. Sean Atkins, he knew he had him, so waited for a safer corner. That's smart racecraft, he said. And then before that, he's put patience, boys, patience. So there we go.
There is no patience in motor racing.
No. Boniatti's got no patience. He's gone past Lindsay Green now. Boniatti on the softs, of course. Green still on the mediums. And neither of these men have pitted here tonight. So it's going to be Boniatti's going to go in. He's got to dump off them medium. He's got to dump off them softs.
Only Elliott, Ryan, and Dylan have boxed earlier. So there it is. There's no take.
All soft runners.
Oh, it's pit road. So yeah. The Tamas goes in.
All soft runners.
Yeah, there's not a massive difference, unfortunately, with iRacing. The good thing I give the the F1 arcade game is that when it's on shorter races, like the feature races that we have right now, it actually does that tire model quite well. It chews through the tire model like it's dynamically chosen to the laps.
Yeah.
To the laps. Yeah, unfortunately for iRacing, it's kept it too real. And so the problem is, let's see if it's going to be a run into the pit road. He's going to dummy it in here. No, can switch it out. So now, if I was Graham, there Nathan, I don't know if I want to take it. I don't know if I want to go for it, Nathan, but he's going to go.
He had to go for it. They're on he's both of them on the same tyre. He's on mediums. It's not going to make no difference.
He's got traffic at the road, so he might get the DRS tow coming up soon, James. Look at the number 14 car just there.
Yeah, that's Boniatti down there as well. Don't forget Boniatti he pitted on lap 19, so he's a little bit down the order. He's now on mediums. He dumped off them softs, didn't like them too much. He said, turn around and said, you can have these back, son, and I want some new ones. But it depends on what Boniatti does here. If he can stay ahead of Graham further than the second gap, of course, then unfortunately for Graham, he's going to be more of a sitting duck on a fence, isn't he?
The trigger point for the DRS. You see a little line on the track. It'll be very hard to see in the cameras. But another thing as well, too. So 30 seconds, 40 seconds, 30 seconds, 37 seconds, 39 seconds. It's about a 4.3 second pit stop, of course, if you nail that perfectly. But 37s and 40s are a big difference. A 3 second gap I'm seeing from Ryan and Dylan. And then made their pit stops earlier. So if that happens right now between Mr. Graham and Mr. Smart, that 3 second gap is massive towards the end of a race. So who's going to gamble first in the pit stops? An undercut, overcut? I don't know. If you want to get that, look like they're continuing to be happy to racing. And here we go, Mr. J Smart set at the inside. I think Mr. Graham's going to let him go through it here at the moment.
I don't know how much of a choice he had on that one either. So that short straight between 1 and 3, there's a DRS zone there. Just, I know, I know there's, they want to have 2, but sticking it on a straight that's not going to make a difference. I'd admit that straight is actually shorter than my high street, where the start finish line is straight.
Straights, unfortunately, James.
Don't put it in. Don't put it in. That's like saying, oh, by the way, here's a chocolate cake with Maltesers on top, but I've missed the Malteser, so I've replaced it with a rectangular flake.
And let me call right now the F1 Media Liberty Group and the FIA. We'll see if we get that sorted out for you, James. But at the moment, I don't think we're going to get that sorted out, unfortunately. And remember, they don't race at Fuji anymore in F1 too, so they haven't really been updated with the latest rules.
I can never moan. Stop it. It's early in the morning. I can get away
They're going
with it.
again, James. They're going again, and I'm surprised that nobody's taken it. This is going to be crucial. The undercut, 23 or 38. Now, the soft tires are going to give you a little bit more pace, but not that much. So it's just racing. This is a DRS battle right now, James.
He's going to stop him. Locking up the right front. Both of them did. On that off-camber curb, we're going to have Graham's going to have the inside line for free. But if Smart's going to hang it round, he's going to have the inside for 4. Is he going to be brave enough and stick it up the inside? He is. There he goes.
He's alone in space too. Yeah.
Oh, he's got it. They're going to run.
Oh, he's got to lift off a lot.
There we go.
I think it's just great racing. This is fantastic racing from both Mr. J Smart and Nathan Graham. You're watching this racing right now, boys and girls, ladies and gentlemen, of the space that everybody's leaving. They are aware of where the driver is. They're aware of where they're exiting. They're aware of allowing enough room. This is absolutely fantastic. You want to see this all the time, and you're going to see it here at Lightspeed Racing. It's absolutely amazing. Trust me, James, you don't see this very often in many leagues that we cast. And look at this. Look at this.
Smart's gone in too deep.
Could be a pit stop call. It's close to the pit stop territory. Anybody going to dive in? No. Again.
No. Graham's going to have him down on the start-finish straight, though. DRS wide open. He didn't even get into the braking zone. Smart's done the right thing. He's tucked up right behind him. That's literally all he can do. He needs to stay as close as he can to him. And he has done there as well. But I've got a funny feeling this could be for the rest of the lap. He's going to have to sit behind him. So we're going to see
James,
how that one pans out.
they're loving the camera time, my friend, aren't they? P1 and P2. Look at that. The only action on track right now is between these two gladiators, and it's been on track for essentially most of the 24 laps. Camera time for these two gladiators. And you got to remember too, Nathan is P16 in the championship, mate. He's only got 20 points to his name. J Smart has 59, and Mac Miller's not in town. This leading the championship was 76. So it's more really right now for J Smart to lose than it is for Nathan to win.
Absolutely. It's got to be more for Smart to try and get as close as he can. He wants to, the thing is, right, if he's going to lose, which I'm not saying he is, because, they got pit stops and anything could happen, I understand that. What he wants to try and do is minimise the loss of points that he's going to lose, right? Because he wants to try and keep the minimum loss down. So if he is going to lose, he doesn't really want to lose down any more than past second place. Graham's peeled off into the pits.
He's going in. Yeah, Graham's going in. This
Smart
will be a
said
key
no.
right now for you to work that one out there, James. Exactly. Now, I also was wondering if J Smart was going into this race thinking, okay, Mac Miller's not here. Elliot Borg, where's Elliot Borg? He's going P8. I don't think in his mind he was going, well, I will be battling it out right now with Nathan that's 16th in the championship. I don't think he was even thinking about that right now, yet he's not given a free ride at all. He's not got one of those go to jail, you know, you do not go to jail and you do not pass go cards. You get out of jail free card. He hasn't been given any of that.
No.
So at the moment, the fight's there. And he could be denied very much maximum points against Mac Miller. And you're wondering through his mind if Jay Smart's going to be like, you know, am I going to be happy to settle for a P2 here? Or am I going to fight like mad to secure the maximum points I can in this championship?
Well, Graham is still in the pits. And he's been in the pits here for a good 50-odd seconds. Actually, he's now in for over a minute. 30 seconds, he's still in the pits.
They have fast repairs, so they do, right? That's it. That's over for Nathan, unfortunately.
Yeah,
that is big time over.
That is...
Because now J Smart goes in.
Yeah,
that is a long pit stop, James.
That's a whole lap.
Yeah.
Smart's gone around the whole lap.
It's a 44-second pit stop when it should be 4 seconds. And now Jay's going to be in and out. Unless Jay has... also, everybody else, John's gone in, Michael's gone in. I'm wondering, this should be it's a 4-second pit stop. It's Formula 1, mate. They have, like, mechanics that go, zzz, done, you know. You've seen it before.
Yeah, but Nathan Graham's now down into 11th. The problem for Graham is everybody in front of him has pitted. The only people that aren't are the people that are in now, which is Kokos, Hurlix, Caustic, Silver, Smart.
And look how quick Jay's pit stop was, mate. In and out. Like, that was nothing.
Yeah, exactly. So 39 seconds.
5.3 actually is a little slower, but... Yeah,
Elliot Borg's coming up through the order. Elliot Borg has now jumped everybody. He's jumped Silver, Caustic, Hurtless, Kokos. What about Connor? He's coming down the start-finish straight as well. Is he going to jump Caustic, Hurlix, Kokos? I believe he should do. Well, no, they're on. They should be on their way out. There you go. So we got Hurlix. He didn't get Silver, but then Gonaz jumped him coming down as well. So poor old Nathan Graham is down here in 11th. 10th now, he's gone past, but I don't get it.
Yeah, if anybody out there is in the chat there with Nathan, please let us know, because there is a fast repair, right? I believe there, James, if I'm not mistaken. So it should be like just any repairs. It didn't look like any damage on the car, but we are not really aware of if there was. Every single pit stop's a man average of about 4 to 5 seconds. He's the only man that had a 44-second, not to mention, Michael Tyler had a 44-second pit stop at the moment as well. But that was very early because of those incidents. We didn't see an incident, did we?
No. But I'm wondering if he's gone in and he's picked up a speeding penalty in the pits.
Oh, you might be very well right on that one. That could have been the situation. Yeah.
I'm wondering if he's on his way in, he's got a penalty. Because that could possibly be. Let's have a look. See if we can see it here.
Let us know. Well, you got to be earlier than that. Oh, it's a little stop, but that's not a minute.
Here we go.
Oh, it's a lock-up. Could be. It could be. Now, he missed his pit stop by a little bit, so that probably would cost him a second or two, but then again, not 44 seconds, so we'll find out about that.
No, but he got a penalty for something.
Yeah.
That would be the only reason he would be sit there, and that penalty time would probably elapse him with what he's doing currently at the moment. That would be why we're looking at a 1 minute 20 pit stop.
Yeah.
He missed it, so he goes forward, right? So boom, tyres off, done. Now...
Yeah.
Yeah, he got it for something.
Oh, there it is. Yeah, it's a long stationary pit stop. Anyway,
he got it for saying.
So Sega goes in, mate. He was leading this race, lost the pit stop. So Jay goes back at the top of the time sheets, and I had to say Jay's got a pretty damn good gap right now. Elliot Borg is probably the only one that could probably challenge him. 8 seconds to change down the road with 10 laps to go. Well, Borg has done it before. Borg has led the championship. Jay's second in the championship. Now it's Borg's time to shine if he wants to take it, because no more pressure right now from Mr. Nathan.
Oh, Graham, however, just swept around the outside of Ryan O'Connor. O'Connor got a big squirrely on there. I don't know if that was a squirrel or not, whether or not he was trying to stay away from Graham then. That was probably more the first one, I would have thought. But Carl Herlick's under attack from Mason Sagar. Sagar right behind him at the moment. There is Sagar.
So he just came out of the pit lane, I think, James. So he's trying to get the temperature back up into the Cheerline Racing team tyres.
Shyline.
Let him through. Shyline. Yeah, there you go.
Shyline. As I've been informed by the boys. Shyline, it means Chi-Town, Chicago.
At least I can say 3 correctly and Bathurst, but then I mess everything else up, so it's fine.
I say 3 correctly because obviously, you know, my education.
Now you say the 3.
I did say the 3 anyway, because I have to say 3 every day to.
I'm not sure about the hard tyre choice there from Ryan, mate, because he's under massive pressure for Tamas.
Yeah, but
and hard tyres.
Mate, he went into the pits on lap 10.
I know, but I probably would have stick with mediums. I don't know. I mean, I'm not a race driver, but hard tyres that I've seen even in the F1 game are difficult to drive. We'll see anyway if Mr. Ryan can hold off Mr. Tamas.
No, Bodiat is going to get him. I'm
P9.
All right, look, I'm a bit of a realist here. Bodiat is going to get O'Connor. I understand that, you know. But at the end of the day, all O'Connor can do is just sit there and hope. And if we look back, ready, 1, 2, 3, and sweep. There we go. Bodiat
I see the double diffuser on the back there. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, Bodiat has got him. Look, O'Connor's got no defence. You know.
Well, then it gets medium tyres too, mate. That's the thing.
Yeah, it's like looking at Mike Tyson fight Jake Paul. You know, Jake Paul's got nothing, and Tyson's going to knock him out. But
I've seen. You know, I mean, if we're going to go to the F1 game, of course, you have to go to the quickest esports drivers on the planet. And I've seen Yano just get murdered by soft tyres in the past. I mean, like, Yano's a slow driver. It's just tyre difference there. So I'm not 100%. He's probably going to murder me later on that one, Mr. Ryan O'Connor. But why the choice for the medium tyres? You could
because he pitted on lap.
I mean, the hard tyres. Yeah.
I don't know, mate. He pitted on lap 10. He's got a long way to run there. 28 laps.
You could do the mediums anyway to have some pace. I don't know. I mean, but anyway, points are points. You're going to get points today, right? Biggest problem right now is that Elliot Borg needs to bring this gap down to Jay Smart. Otherwise, Jay Smart's going to run away with this one. Jay Smart is going to have more points in the championship because he's 59 points for the Clutches of World's Racing team. And Mac Miller not being here, he's on 76. So Mac Miller cannot get any more points, but yet Jay Smart can. And Elliot Borg. And that's the crucial battle for P1 and P2.
Yeah, it is at the moment. I've got some funky things going on here. Bear with me while the overlay just decides it wants to do anything bar what I needed to do. So just bear with while hopefully it will reset itself and then I don't have to have any more issues, which I think I'm going to be having because currently it's decided it's not going to work, which is nice. Love that when things like this happen. Unfortunately, bear with us. We will try and correct
when a plan comes together. Exactly. If you get a chance, go to Battle for P4, P5 as well too. Just click on the button there of Kyle. Remember I mentioned about Kyle? Hellerski. Well,
Herlick's.
He's good. He's quick. Sorry?
I think it's Carl Herlick's.
Herlick's, yeah. Kyle Herlick's and Dylan.
Look, let's be honest.
They've gained 5 and 7 positions, James. Now battling tooth and nail right now for crucial P5 and P4 positions. Yeah. P5 and P6 positions, sorry.
Okay, now the overlay. Come on. You can do this. Come on. Well done. Proud of you.
Bracket. Get in there.
Give it a kick. But they are back at it. You know what I mean?
It's a horse racing match right now. Here we go. This is the battle right now, James, we're talking about.
Yeah, Sega's going to try and go through. Do you know the problem with Herlick's move there, right? He didn't really defend, but then he didn't really not allow him space. It was a little bit weird there. He was almost like, I'm not really going to go and defend it, but then I'm not going to give you that full amount of room you need. It kind of squeezed him. You know what I mean? It's like sticking PB on one side, J on the other, and then almost touching them together, but then decided you're going to eat them separately. So there we go.
Welcome to the JB Broadcasting Network. When you get references like that, somebody clip it. You won't get that in any other broadcasting network on the planet, can you, James? I love it. That's
probably not the greatest analogy of PB and J, but I'm just saying.
We'll take it. Any day of the week, my friend.
Yeah, so...
You survived 32 laps around Fuji. They've survived 32 laps around Fuji. I'll take that one any day of the week.
They have, yes. So just bear with as well. We don't have long left, Biggles. We've only got six 6.5 laps
Yeah,
remaining.
Jay's got it, mate. This is the problem I was worried about. And good on you, Mr. Nathan, for bringing it to Mr. J Smart for most of the race. Couldn't quite get it done. J Smart's going to run with this one. Ellie Borg, of course. I don't think he's going to do anything on those medium tires. This is 11 seconds to change down the road. But the battle is here right now for the battle for P4 and P5, P6. Sorry, right there. Actually, it will be P4 if they can break the DRS. Love this one. A little bit of a lock up there from Kyle in the forward there. But he's on a massive attack, isn't he, from Mason Sega?
Yeah, absolutely. Sega is going to give Herlix a little bit of grief here for 5th place. As we go into the final 6 laps, it's going to be interesting to see how this one develops, guys. So sit back, enjoy, get your drinks, sit back and chill, because it's going to be an interesting one here as we go down into the final third or final quarter or final half or whatever you want to call it of this race.
Keep an eye on Graham. He's coming back, mate. Fresh rubber, soft tires. Knows he has the pace. He's now joined this party. Big time. Look at this. He's now right up. All of a sudden, Mr. Mason Sega is not necessarily thinking about attacking up the road. He's going to be thinking about defending against Nathan. And Nathan's going to be on a rampage, my friend. After that, whatever happened, we don't know. We'll find out about it later. But the man clearly had pace because he clearly was leading the race at many points. And now you get the DRS down the mighty tow-away here in Fuji, Japan. And now look at this on your screens right now. There's a 4-way battle brewing there, James.
Absolutely. It's going to be interesting to see how this one pans out here with the last 5 laps. As I say, we've got that little short, sharp DRS zone there as well, for no other reason than the fact that there was nowhere else on track to put it.
Stop complaining about it.
I'm not
As Graham's going to make a run.
No,
as far as your pictures.
Body out here, Kokos. Body out, Kokos. Sega's there as well. Sega's got Graham up behind him.
No, Graham's going to get past, mate. He's on a rampage, I swear. At some point, you got multiple pictures, multiple angles, but we can get replays, of course, as they make it through the twisty section, of course, Sector 3. And the main straightaway, it's all about who gets ahead of and behind, too, remember, James. Because you get that little 17 kilometers an hour on the back of your loud pedal. That sounds good, doesn't it? And then the Rovers go full pedal here at Lightspeed Racing League. Look at the Graham goes a little bit twirly while they come out of the corner, but he's still got some pace, James. 4-way battle occurring. DRS will be activated. Who doesn't get it? Unfortunately, the man in P4 is going to not get the rear letterbox open. Everybody else will. Look at them tow down the main straight.
Yeah, it is. Unfortunately for them, Carl Herlix is literally a duck on a fence with a man with a shotgun pointing at him, and that shotgun goes into Dylan Gonez. Gonez is through. Graham's trying to run Sega around the outside. He needs that inside line for turn 2 before Sega can come back and try and claim it on 3. But these guys going tooth for nail here. Herlix going there for it as well with Gonez. They're battling side by side as they're going round turn 4 and 5. Can Gonez send it up the inside? Herlix has gone in. He's turned around and said, thank you very much. I'll have it back. Cheers for that. Thank you. Take care. Adios. See you later.
Yeah, you got to do it in Japan, mate. Here we go. Run. 4-way battle here, James. It's a 4-way battle for P4. This is your pictures. It's live. A couple of laps to go. I'll tell you what, right now, I wish Formula 1 2023 would be as much entertaining as this. We'll find out about that, but I guarantee you right now, Lightspeed Racing Formula 1 is much more entertaining. And look at the inside there.
No.
Let me decide. Straight on through goes Graham. Says goodbye, everybody. See you, Nara. I'm out of here. But the battle's still pursuing behind him. Mr. Sega, Mr. Gonez. Everybody is here. The party's in town. Get your sake and get your sushi trains on, my friend, because it's coming down to the wire.
Herlix got DRS there. Graham missed out on the DRS. He passed him just before the activation zone. Herlix got DRS there as well. Sega's going to look at going up the inside of Gonez now as well. Herlix trying to come back there as well. He went in deep, unfortunately, for Carl Herlix. He's got that little short spurt of DRS. That's almost like a man out the back just blowing a little bit to make him go quicker. It's like, oh, off the DRS zone. So there we go. So Carl Herlix did get that little second spurt of DRS, but it didn't really make a difference, to be honest. But there we go. Now Nathan Graham's
at least we got some entertainment, James, don't we? Because the leader's now 14 seconds to change down the road. So forget about that one. Mr. J Smart's got it, but I don't know who's going to get the P4 battle. Basically, P5 battle. You can see in your pictures right now. There's 4 cars in your picture. and 4 cars have the opportunity of getting some crucial points. Remember, James, you're going to get some points. They will get some points. Who wants the most points is the key.
Well, Graham's gone now, unfortunately. Herlick's now seems to be opening up a gap to Sagar, and he's got Gonaz behind him. One of the interesting other battles that's going on as well currently is Boniatti, who's trying to chase down, not Caustic, Coco's in front of him. So we'll have to see how that one pans out. But that 4-way battle that we had, that brief little spread there, unfortunately, has now come to, they've kind of spread out a little bit, unfortunately, for them. But
it's Dylan now. It's Dylan and Sagar. Yeah, here it is. It's
Gonaz.
Canada versus the United States of America here in Japan. Who wants it? Turn 1. Not quite yet. Play Sagar, but he's putting the pressure right now, isn't he, on Dylan? Dylan's a Canadian driver. Mr. Mason Sagar is a USA driver. That's 26 versus the 27 machine. Here we go. And Thomas, a little bit further back in the field, as you mentioned.
Battling away with Coco's here. Oh, that's not going to do you any favours, son. My mum says cars are always better when they're pointing straight, and unfortunately for Cocos there, he was not going straight. He got a little bit squirrely, and that unfortunately has allowed Boniatti through. Now, the only thing he can hope to do is try and stay with Boniatti for the rest of this lap, but that's going to be a tall order considering Boniatti is obviously down 3. He was up in 6th place when he finished his off the sprint. That's
Cocos
where he was
time to
as
shine
well,
at the
but
moment
it's
there.
going to be Cocos.
Yeah.
Oh, shut up!
That's going to be tough. That's going to be tough here at the moment.
Kabow, Cocos, he did it. He sent it on Boniatti. He licked a stamp, shoved it in that right-hand corner and said, watch out, son, it's on its way. So well done, Zachary
It's
Cocos.
a British postal mail at the moment, and that reference is clever as well too, isn't it?
Thanks,
because
mate.
it reminds me of the of the children that were broadcasting, of course, your charity event. And they said the exact same things, didn't they, James? You got to put the car in the right direction, don't you? Daddy, exit the corner, put in the car in the right direction. Here we go, James.
Yeah, he's got to get... Oh, I'll tell you what, for Cocos, right, he passed him. But then it's almost beneficial as we go on to lap 37. We've got one more, this and one more. Right? It's almost beneficial for Cocos not to pass Boniatti and stick with him for the final lap to get that DRS. He got it there, but as we know, that's about as effective as a kettle in a hot chocolate kettle in a sauna. It's just going to melt in your hand.
Yeah, you mean in a screen door in a submarine, exactly.
Yeah, he might as well wait, doesn't he? The only thing he doesn't want to do, as we go on to the last lap, Smart is on the last lap. I will try and pick him up, guys, don't worry. I'm going to keep an eye out for him. So what now, from his point of view, is he needs to stay close.
Ooh.
Don't do it. Don't do it. Get him down the start-finish straight. Don't do it. He's going to let you through.
It's got to be careful for Zachary also. Yeah, Michael in the background as well could seize his opportunity on this DRS activation. The letterbox will be open for 2 of these cars, but not for 1, unfortunately, James.
Oh, he's gone.
That's going to be problems.
Cocos has got a problem with Caustic now. Is that going to free up Boniatti? Is Boniatti going to survive this final lap?
There they go. 17 kilometers an hour on your lab pedal, my friend. Bang.
He is.
So it's
He's gonna
kilometers now,
survive.
not miles, my friend, but it's power, and it's pedal to the metal.
Oh, these guys are coming down now on the final lap. Jay Smart's just come round the last corner. I will pick these up, but we've got to follow the leader across the line as Jay Smart comes and takes the victory here in the 38-lap feature for the LSRL live from Fuji. And there is your winner, Mr. Jay Smart with Elliot Borg, who's going to come across the line as well. Boniatti, Caustic, and Cocos are still close together. Cocos has cleared Boniatti now. It'd be interesting to see where that happened because I had to follow the leader.
It's gone deep. This
But
could
then
be
it's
big
just
trouble.
gone.
Big trouble in little
Oh.
Japan, James, in the last couple of dying stages, the final corners here. Can he get the exit speed? It's all about here right now. He'll get a little bit of a DRS, not enough. It's all about these couple of corners here. How do you get an entrance and exit? You'll know. The children say, point the car straight, Daddy. Well, that's what you don't do. Not
gone.
Thomas. He's gone. He's lost it.
Oh, no. Bambi has gone on the ice, and it was Boniatti gone at turn 12. Oh, turn 11, sorry. Thomas Boniatti has gone round, and it is going to be Zachary Cocos coming across the line in 9th. Caustic in 10th. Green gets Boniatti at the end in 11th. Oh, Boniatti down in 12th place. Obviously, Gatke and Rubens did not finish the race, but I would...
Ooh.
Thomas Boniatti.
Yeah.
Thomas Boniatti. Buddy,
Well, I tell you what, was there no a dull moment? This is not Formula One, everybody out there. Regular Formula One, you can have a snooze, lay down, probably get yourself a cup of coffee and a cup of tea. There is nothing here. James, look at those results.
Yeah, J Smart does take the victory by 16 seconds over Elliot Borg on the end. John Silver is in third place. Nathan Graham fourth. Carl Herlich's fifth. Dylan Gonez in sixth. Mason Sagar seventh. Brian O'Connor eighth. Then the Coco's Caustic Green Boniatti. Well, it was Coco Caustic Boniatti. Green's capitalised because Boniatti went round at turn 12, unfortunately, turn 11. So he's lost that position. Then we've got Tyler Gatke and Steve Rubin coming across the line here as we can see these guys coming on for their little parade. Let's give them a little bit of a... How far back are they? Wait. Oh, my God. Come forward, gentlemen. Can't get them that far back. That's a bit rude. Oh, there you go. They've had their photo taken and now they're just doing donuts. So that's nice. Where's your Jay Smart in there doing donuts? John Silver has said, nope, I'm going to go backwards just to see how far I can get. The Colombian...
Like,
no.
Well, you are in the... well, you're on the northern hemisphere. I was going to say you're in the southern hemisphere, but you're in the land of the rising sun.
There we go. Jay Smart doing donuts there as well, and very successfully all as well. Hey,
you know what's good for good for Jay Smart, my friend? Mac Millen's not here. Maximum points.
Yep.
Maximum risk,
points
maximum reward.
from both races.
Yep.
From both races there for Mr.
So
Jay
Mac Millen's sitting there
Smart.
going, damn. He's like Toto Wolff throwing his Bose headphones off and slamming them to the desk right now, going, no, it's not fair that
No,
Jay
Michael.
Smart has done it.
No, Michael.
No, Jay. No. But Jay, congratulations, mate. You're the winner of the Fuji Formula One Light Speed Racing Grand Prix, round 6.
Yeah, well, we're going to bring in some people in to the booth with us here this evening as well. And we're going to start off with Mr. Elliot Borg, of course, who was in second place. So let's bring Elliot in to the booth. Actually, let's start with John Silver, shall we? The third place man, of course. Start off with third here. John, welcome into the booth. Thank you so much for joining us. How are you, sir?
Hello. I'm doing good, guys. Not as happy as last time, but yeah, doing good.
Okay, give us a rundown, John. Can you, if there's one pinpoint that you think could have happened that caused you the problem, what do you think it could have been? Because, you know, you're in third. What do you think? Any thoughts as to why?
Well, at the beginning of the race, I had a really bad start.
Yeah, you did.
I started P3 and then I finished P8. Yeah, P8, P9, something like that. So that's the first thing. I had to, try to overtake the other guys.
Mm-hmm.
And then I think when I was with P5, P4, if I'm not mistaken, that was really tough to overtake. So once I think I locked up the tires, I had some really good fights with Ryan and Elliot. And they was really close. But so far, I was, damaging my tires. So I was like, okay, either I pit early or later. So I thought, okay, let's go later because I saw that the degradation was really high. So I prefer to have the soft tires to just full throttle all the time. And, when I came out of the pits, Elio was 6.77 seconds ahead of me. So I was like, okay, maybe I can. It's not easy. Elio is really fast. And I was catching him. I think I was 3 seconds, if I'm not mistaken. It was also 6 laps to go. So I was like, okay, there's an opportunity. And I spun. I just flew the accelerator a little bit early. I really, really damaged the tires. So I was like, okay, I'm done. So I'm kind of frustrated because it was my own mistake. Because for the start and also for the almost that I spun. But yeah. I'm happy to be the podium, but
Missed opportunity for points there, maybe. Missed opportunity. But look, we go on to the Red Bull Ring next time out as well. So, everybody loves the Red Bull Ring. It's a great circuit there. But, John, thank you so much for joining us. Is there anyone you want to give a shout out to before you leave the booth this evening?
Yeah, first of all, to Elliot and Jay, congratulations. As always, Jay is really fast. Elliot, congratulations, man. That was a really great strategy from yourself. And also to you guys, thank you so much for broadcasting, to all the LSR family. And yeah, that's it. Thank you, guys.
Awesome, no problem there, John. Well, thank you so much for joining us, and maybe we'll look forward to having a chat with you at the Red Bull Ring.
Thank you. See ya.
Take care. Bye.
Bye.
Right. So that was John Silver. Now we've brought in the second place man this evening, Mr. Elliot Borg. Good evening, Elliot. How are you, sir?
Extremely shocked.
Shocked at what, mate? You did a stunning job.
Oh, well, yeah, but not in that spin.
Well, you know, look.
Those curbs, oh, man, there's like a drainage ditch in them or something because I caught like a little lip and that was all she wrote.
Yeah, you did kind of go round, but let's look at the positive. Positive was you fought back, you got second place.
Heck yeah.
So where do you go from here, right? You got to take a victory, haven't you?
I would hope so, man. These guys are so dang fast. Jay, Nathan, and Mr. John S. Sylvia. Man,
Yeah,
just
Biggles.
smokes. Yeah. I was telling Jay that he was about to pull the Sylvia special on me because I could see the relative ticking down and down because he came out on softs, and I was just waiting for it to happen. I don't know what happened to him. So I'm looking forward to watching to see what happened.
Yeah, he was mixed up in a little bit as a battles as he come out, and you know what it's like. If you get stuck, you can't get past. And the problem is when you get further up the grid, everybody's in that same boat, aren't they? Where everybody gets to the point where you're relatively as quick as the last person, you know. And unfortunately, it was a bit of a tough one there as well. But overall, are you happy with your kind of where you finished? Did you expect to be where you are tonight?
I'm absolutely over the moon. I did not expect to get a podium tonight. I had a really fast lap in practice on Monday that I knew I was not going to be able to repeat, and I was really, really miffed after my qualifying because I ran a 14.2 on full fuel with the softs just in regular ERS deployment. So to run a 15.9 and change in qualifying, it was like, well, track conditions are changing and not in my favor. So yeah, to pull off P2, it was good night.
Yeah, it definitely was, mate. Definitely well worth it there as well. Onwards and upwards onto the Red Bull Ring. You got to love that one. You know, everybody loves the Red Bull Ring, right? Don't they?
Not my best track, but I've gotten a heck of a lot better at braking in this car, so I'm looking forward to giving it another spin. Well, not another spin, bad phrasing.
Yeah,
another go around. Yeah.
Yeah, definitely don't want to go around there, mate. But well done, Elliot. Is there anyone you want to give a shout out to before you leave the booth this evening?
Yeah, my wife, who's actually watching the race now, so she texted me and said, if you keep losing to this random dude, Jay, I'm going to quit watching.
Hey. Well, mate, just real quick there. I mean, I hope you got to celebrate your Valentine's Day yesterday with your wife, and so she should be happy with that. But she should be happy you're getting a podium position, mate. 3 positions gained as well, too. So big Valentine's hug and kiss for your wife out there for you.
Yep, that's the plan.
Awesome stuff.
Thanks,
Elliot.
guys.
Take care, man.
You too.
Right, and then we're going to come in to your victor in the evening, the man who scoped double victories, closes the gap on Mr. Mac Miller, and into the booth. We welcome your leader, your winner by over 16 seconds. The biggest margin for him this season, Mr. Jay Smart. Good evening, sir. How are you?
Hello, gentlemen. How are you?
I'm wonderful. Not too bad.
Good race to watch.
Well, behind you was. No offence. You know, you kind of took off, and we were worried. Actually, Biggles was worried. Right, I've got to bless him tonight because he was a little bit worried that if you got out in front when you did, you were never going to be caught. Now the problem is we think Nathan Graham had some penalty. I'm going to put it.
I think so.
Yeah, I think he got caught for speeding in the pit lane because he had to stop pretty much straight away. So that took away the threat that you did have. Now, the rest of it was surely just all on you to keep it on track, wasn't it? Because other than that, it was like going for a drive with your grandma on a Sunday. You had no battles. There was nothing in the way, was there?
Yeah, honestly, towards after Nathan had that penalty or whatever happened to him, I was pretty worried about trying to keep it on track. And I had even started getting distracted enough to think about talking to you guys about how I was starting making mistakes, getting distracted. And then I knew that I had to refocus on the race. Otherwise, I was going to spin and not talk to you at all tonight. So, it's definitely difficult to stay focused. I think earlier in the race, I don't know if I would have pulled away ever from Nathan. I mean, I think I had a little bit more pace that whenever he got in front, I seemed to get him a little bit earlier on the straight, but I don't know how that race would have ended if he didn't have that penalty. I think we would have been on like a DRS run to the start finish line on the last lap.
Yeah, that was definitely the general consensus throughout the race, to be fair, Jay. Like, there were people battling, and if they got in that DRS zone, then they would get back, and then if they got back, and then back again. You know, it was the way it was going to run. The only way people had really pulled away was if somebody had put the throttle down too early in turn one, and they released the back end, should we say, from its ground on the floor. But you didn't have that problem, so you've gained a lot of points back on Mr. McMillan this evening, who wasn't here.
Yeah, it'll be a drop for him, so we'll see after the drops factor in where we stand. I should have a drop also, I think, from Monza and maybe another race, so it'll be interesting to see how the standings look after the drops play in.
Yeah, I think for him, obviously, it's going to be a 0 point, right? So he drops a 0 when you don't. So I suppose from that stature, you can almost look at it as, well, I'm going to not turn up for the next one because then I can drop a 0 as well. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I might have used mine up a little early, so we'll see.
Well, they've not been applied yet, so nobody really knows, Jay. So if you don't turn up for the Red Bull Ring and drop a 0, you know, who am I to tell you not to?
That is, there's no way I'd miss that race. Say that should be.
Yeah, I love the Red Bull Ring.
Had really good battles on there. I think I've had good battles there with John as well. So now Nathan, Elliott in the mix too, and it's really easy to put a tire off, and so you might get even more people up in the mix. That'll be an exciting. Sure.
Yeah, I'm definitely looking forward to that one as well. However, I'm not looking forward to the off-track limit and how you guys cope with that, because there's, you know, you've only got to sneeze at a curb at the Red Bull Ring, mate, and it's an off-track, isn't you? But then again, there's one part.
It's just like the drivers were complaining about in real life. You cannot see the apex on the exit on some of those turns, and so you're just guessing.
Yeah, and that's the thing. And then you get an off track, and before you know it, you're like, not entirely sure I want to be running this amount of off tracks. But there we go. Look, Jay, absolutely stunning victory for you, sir. Well done on your double victory this evening. See how you pan out after the championship standings and how the drop weeks get applied. But, you know, absolutely amazing. Jay, is there anyone that you want to give a shout out to before you leave the booth this evening?
Yeah, same as always, league owners, Anthony, Joseph, the admins, Ryan, Dylan, Elliot, Tomas, always for all the great pictures he takes, you guys in the booth. And then, a big shout out to Nathan. I think we were fighting side by side in some games that I think we'd be able to, and just big thank you to the respect I think that he gave me and then I gave him. Hopefully he feels the same way. I think we had a really good battle. So, yeah, big shout out to him.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, Jay, thank you so much for joining us, buddy, and we'll look forward to seeing you next week at the Red Bull Ring.
Thank you.
Take care, man.
You too.
Right. So there we go, Biggles. Everybody was, positive about it. It was a good run. They enjoyed it. And now we go on to the Red Bull Ring, and that's going to be a different entity altogether, isn't it, really?
Well, you'll be listening to the sound of those Formula 1 cars going around Spielberg, of course. But, yeah, to wrap that one up, James, congratulations to Jay Smart. Congratulations to Elliot Borg. Jay Smart, of course, top of the timesheets. Elliot Borg gaining those positions, crucially gaining those positions in the championships. Third in the championship at the moment with Mac Miller not here. Jay Smart seizing his opportunity. John S. Silva, or Silver, what do you want to call him? At the moment, the Colombian driver. Silva, yeah, he's P3 in the championship, tied at the moment. That'll be decided. Ellie Borg will actually still a couple of points away from him. But we cannot deny, and I know I'm going to say it, but Nathan Graham was my driver of the day by far, because that number one machine was driving like a machine. And not to mention, James, he got the fastest lap.
Mm-hmm.
He finished in P4 after whatever mistake it was. We couldn't quite get to speak to Mr. Nathan here. But
He didn't get the fastest lap. Oh, yes, he did. 15.66.
He did get the fastest lap, James.
All right, sorry, Biggles.
Yeah.
Sorry,
and so, you know, and we know, as Jay mentioned, that would have been a great showdown between those two drivers. I mentioned at the start, if Jay gets away, that's it. Nobody's there to challenge him. But that man did challenge him, didn't he? Nathan did challenge him. Nathan, congratulations. You know, a man that's running P16th in the championship, that's battling with the top guns. Absolutely amazing. You want to see it, don't you? I mean, it just goes to show to all the other drivers that are driving here at Lightspeed Racing League that, hey, doesn't matter where you are in the championship, you could be fighting for a podium and fighting for a win, and that's the spirit we like to see. So whatever happened, it's sad, but Nathan's pace was there, so GG's. But of course, Jay Smart, Elliot Borg, and John, GG's on your podium.
There we go. Well, guys, I think that sums it up here tonight as well. I hope you've all enjoyed the LSRL F1 live from Fuji with myself, James Parfitt, and the wonderful Mr. Dean Biggles into the booth here as well. But really, guys, give it a thumbs up. Turn on your bells, because you're not going to want to miss any action that's going on this week here on the JPB YouTube channel. We have got Radicals tomorrow from the Legacy Silverstone circuit. We've got TSRC GT3s from Imola as well. And we've got the Radical Sim Racing Americas with Biggles and Rob Sluter tomorrow from the Legacy Silverstone circuit. Then on Friday, we've got Radical Sim Racing Ama Pros Europeans. And then we've got SRL TCRs live from Watkins... SRL TCRs live from Watkins Glen on Friday. Then we've got the Radical Sim Racing Endurance on Sunday. Then we're back for the LSRL GT3 Round 7, which I've just been sent the new schedule for, due to the fact that obviously we had Valentine's Day off. So 2, 4, 6, 7. It's going to be Daytona Roval. So stay tuned for that one, because that's going to be absolutely epic. That is next Sunday, of course. So thank you so much for joining us. Hit the bells, subscribe, give the video a big old thumbs up. But for now, guys, for myself and the one, the only, kangaroo eating, barbecuing, Mr. Dean Biggles, take care. Have a great week. And you never know, we might see you on the track sometime. Good night.